I was about 5 months old when the old bridge opened in August 1928. I was born March 1928. So I've lived here all of my life.
I work at Norfolk Naval Shipyard as an engineer. I've been there for 21 years now. I commute to work from Larchmont in Norfolk, about 10 miles. The ride across the old Jordan Bridge was a hairy ride because it was only a 6-foot sidewalk up off of the shoulder of the road. There was no shoulder on the road for bikes, so it was really unsafe.
In FIG, we're working on another project in the area known as the Snjb Bridge, where we were designing that project for Virginia Beach. Through the process of that project, Linda Fig and other members of our organization traveled here, and it became apparent very quickly that, hey, there's transportation challenges in this area. And where you go, you get caught by a movable bridge or a railroad track or a tunnel. And so as various individuals from FIG were sitting in those traffic jams, the thought developed, why don't we do something about that? Why don't we help this community? It just so happened, paying attention to what was going on in the Hampton Roads area, we recognized that the Jordan Bridge was struggling, that they had a 3-ton load limit on the bridge, so trucks and emergency vehicles were not allowed to use the bridge. Ultimately, the city did have to close the Jordan Bridge.
Yes, when the bridge closed, we seen our car sales drop probably 1 or 2 cars a month. And if you look at that over a whole year, you're looking at 15 to 20 cars almost. And you know, that will make or break your year.
It did impact my business because I work with businesses right across that bridge. So it did impact those customers. They had to drive all the way around. There were some other marine businesses that also had to drive all the way around to get to our facility in South Norfolk. So it was actually an inconvenience on many levels to many of our companies on that side of the water.
Quick Cheese has been here in South Norfolk for 9 years because what I used to tell my customers is it's 3 minutes from Norfolk, 3 minutes from Portsmouth, about 10 minutes to Virginia Beach. It's a prime location, but when the bridge closed down, it actually hindered my ability to do business in Portsmouth because it increased the time by about 20 minutes, and some of my customers were a little upset at that.
Yeah, obviously after they closed the Jordan Bridge, there was no way to get across the water. It's all tunnels and no pedestrian thoroughfare. So I had to pretty much quit and drive to work.
In December, we as FIG, led by Linda Fig's efforts, approached the city of Chesapeake with the idea that, hey, we'll take over responsibility for demolishing the old bridge. You won't have to absorb those costs or find funds for that. We'll absorb it into the cost of putting a new structure across this south branch of the Elizabeth River. And with the understanding that we were going to do it very quickly, and key was with no city, state, or federal funds. So it's going to be entirely a private project, which is absolutely a new model in the U.S. You hear about 3 Ps these days, which would be public-private partnerships. Well, in this case, we're doing a 1 P, which is a totally private project without any other government entity money involved.
I will say that our South Norfolk Business Consortium supports, you know, having the bridge here, as well as the Civic League, and the different types of associations within South Norfolk that are very proactive for revitalizing our community. And this actually gives us an opportunity to revitalize with a brand new bridge.
We are using the latest technologies on this particular project. That, you know, we've been in business over 33 years, and through that period of time we've been constantly evolving and developing the techniques that are used here today. So this is the culmination of all the techniques that we've perfected over the years, a lot with the help of the various contractors that we've worked with over the years. Some of the techniques and technology that you see here on this particular project include the durability of the concrete that we're using. We have a special mix that we're using for this particular bridge. We're going to be putting a stain on our barriers, which will be an eco-friendly stain that's actually going to absorb carbon monoxide out of the air and serve to keep the parapets themselves clean while it's cleaning the air around it. We will be using the latest technologies as it relates to the post-tensioning of a structure, which will also add to the enhanced durability. We'll have LED lights on the bridge, as well as an open road tolling system, which is the latest technology in the country for making it very user-friendly for your traveling public to travel underneath our toll gantries without having to stop. And with all those improvements, one of the added benefits that you're going to get is a very elegant structure. Our whole interest from the first time we looked at moving into the community was to provide a structure and a project that all of the neighborhoods around here would be very proud of, and that's why the structure that you see has very simple, elegant lines to try to provide a very clean look. But also we're putting in improvements with landscaping and other touches on either end in Portsmouth and Chesapeake so that we can help contribute and give back to the community here. We did start a Talk in the Park in December of 2011. We've been going the first and third Saturday of every month and working with the folks here to share the project. We are a high-level fixed bridge, so the other benefit there is the fact that we are 170 feet up in the air with 145 foot of formal clearance per the U.S. Coast Guard permit.
So the light at the end of the tunnel is when the Jordan Bridge gets finished, the road construction is done, we should have a nice flow of traffic through here. People won't be trying to avoid this road and get people to and from Chesapeake to Portsmouth easy as possible.
I'm very much anticipating being able to ride my bike to work again, and I watch the progress of the bridge through my office window every day, just counting down the days till I can start riding again. So I see, you know, coming out of the shipyard every day, probably a half a mile back up to get into the downtown tunnel. I look at this as coming out of the back of the shipyard and another option for them. You know, time is money, so I think it's worth the money to get home to your family a half hour earlier.
This bridge is a vital link to the local businesses in this area.
So now, with the new South Norfolk Jordan Bridge, it's going to allow them to have a more convenient opportunity to get to us, a very, very quick and convenient way to get to us. And reconnecting businesses from the Portsmouth side to our Chesapeake side is very critical. It's allowing South Norfolk to have an opportunity again to be open for business.